Hello my friends, it's Johnaroth, and today we are focusing on dragons, specifically teamer dragons. One of my viewers, Colin, had asked that I look into building some sort of teamer deck, and he did mention dragons, and I thought that this was the perfect opportunity to build a new dragon commander from Tarkir Dragonstorm, which is the teamer dragon Ureni, the song Unending. Ureni is an 8-mana, 10/10 spirit dragon that has flying, protection from white, protection from black. And when Ureni enters, it deals X damage divided as you choose among any number of target creatures and or planeswalkers your opponent controls, where X is the number of lands you control. So Ureni can be a board wipe attached to a dragon, where the amount of lands that you have, you can choose how to destroy the creatures or planeswalkers that your opponent has. It costs a lot to get out Ureni, but the effect is very powerful, and I have found that the protection from black and white is actually proven to be very beneficial in these matches. So as you might expect, this is a dragon deck. There is, in the 1 and 2 drops, a lot of ramp cards. We're focused on getting out lands, getting out ramp to cast all these big, powerful dragons that we have. We do have enchantments in here that also help us draw more cards, such as Up the Beanstalk as an example. We have an enchantment that can get more dragons through Discover, Monstrous Vortex onto the battlefield. Urza's Incubator makes our cards cheaper. A lot of the 1 through 4 drops are focused on either ramp or removal of some kind, or just building up some enchantments to benefit us. Our creatures are big, strong dragons. So you're going to see a lot of cards here on the top end here. Ancient Bronze Dragon, Old Gnawbone, Storm Scale Scion, a ton of great dragon cards. And then also there's some other powerful cards in here you'll get to see utilized in some matches, such as Dracogenesis, which can basically, it costs 8 mana, but if you get that onto the battlefield, you can just play your whole hand of dragons for free and win the game. So there's a lot of really great Tarkir Dragonstorm cards in this deck. So let us take dragons into the queue using the new commander Ureni, and see if their roar can destroy all of our opponents. Let's go. Our very first game is against Bruvac, the Grandiloquent. This is going to be, Bruvac is a mill commander, so the goal is for them to get all of our cards out of our deck so that we lose. Hand is somewhat slow, so I'm going to mulligan. This hand is a little bit better, not great, but I am going to try and keep it. Throw down the Yavimaya Coast. Bruvac says, if an opponent would mill 1 or more cards, they mill twice that many cards instead. So basically he's going to try to mill us to death, essentially. Okay, puts down a Confounding Conundrum. Gonna draw a card. We're gonna put down a land. We're gonna cast Cultivate to ramp. Go for a mountain and a forest. Put down the mountain. Oh yeah, we gotta return a land to our hand because of the Confounding Conundrum, I forgot. Okay, summons a Haughty Djinn. Gonna put down the coast. We can... This is a dragon, right? Yeah. So we can use the dragon's fire to kill the Haughty Djinn, revealing Lozan because he has a 4 power. Then we're going to get out Ragavan. our opponent is going to turn Ragavan into a 1/1 utter insignificant creature. I'm going to get out the Shaman because it's going to make our dragons cost a lot less. I'm going to attack with the Ragavan because he's just basically a 1/1 at this point. Okay, he attacks with the Hermit. We're not going to block. He's going to cast Time Warp, but we're going to counterspell that. Okay, we get another land. We could get out Ureni, which is a 10/10. But I think I like a little bit more setup here first, to be honest. I'm going to cast the Twin Flame Tyrant, really good dragon, and we're going to attack with both. And the Twin Flame says, is a 3/5 flying. If a source you control would deal damage to an opponent or a permanent, it deals double that amount of damage instead. Okay, so our opponent's trying to bring out Jace. We'll let that resolve. He does have open counterspell magic. So I'm going to bring out the Lorzon. Or try to. He may have a counterspell. Okay, he's going to memory lapse that to the top of our deck. Perfectly fine. We're going to attack with Ragavan and the Twin Flame. Keeping back the Shaman because he could block with the Hermit. Got our opponent down to 9. If we can get Jace out of the way somehow, we have lethal. Gonna bring out Brewback. Do we let him do that? Say we do. First thing we're going to do is attack. Our opponent's eyeing our Twin Flame. He may have some sort of bounce spell, potentially. Planeswalker.
My own most challenging puzzle.
Got him down to 3. Oh, can we cast Ureni? I wish we had one more mountain. I'm gonna try. Let's see if we can do it. Ureni, the song Unending. Okay, he had a counterspell. That's okay, we got it out of his hand. See what we can do this turn. There's a Sapphire Medallion. He's decreasing the Shaman's attack ability. going to summon the Benevolent Geist. We did draw another land, which is good. I'm going to try to bring out Lozan. Lozan? We're presenting lethal here, so he's going to have to block this. Doesn't really have a choice unless he has a bounce spell. He does. Our opponent has one card. He's going to attempt to bring back the Time Warp. I'm going to Tails End that, so he can't do it. He has a Key to the Archive, which is mana. However, he's going to have to discard whatever card. On our turn, we're going to summon the Twin Flame, which will cause Lozan to deal damage to the Geist, and then we can swing in for lethal. There's 50 ways we can win this game next turn, quite honestly. So, really good first game with Ureni and the Dragons. Good game. Okay, our next game is against Agnes, the Dragon's Lash. We do get to go first, have a lot of ramp. I love Up the Beanstalk in this deck. It's just such good card draw, so we're going to keep it and hope we can get to where we need to be. Put down the Sulphur Falls. Agnes, this is going to be a fast commander. He has haste, and whenever a creature you control with haste attacks, you create a tapped treasure token. So I'm going to use my 2 mana to do the Cold Steel Heart. We're going to go for blue mana, since we're a little bit low on that versus our other colors. He has a Delighted Halfling. And he's going to do Inquisition to get rid of one of our cards. He's going to get rid of the Tail's End. We're going to do Rampant Growth. To get another card, we'll get a Mountain. And we'll cast Up the Beanstalk. Draw another card. Urza's Incubator will be good here. He's probably going to cast his Commander, more than likely. He does, which means he's going to get a treasure token once he hits us. We're going to put down a land. Oh. So if I cast this, it's 2 less. There's not enough. I'm going to go for Lathliss so we can draw another card. Even though the Incubator's good, we would be down 1 mana, which is why that's a problem. Summons a Screaming Nemesis. He's got 2 treasures left. Does he have enough? He does not. Going to cast Urza's Incubator to make our dragons cheaper. We're going to summon Sarkhan. We'll behold a dragon for another treasure. We'll hold up the Dragon's Fire, and we'll pass the turn. We have 6 lands, so if we get out Ureni, we can kill a couple things here. See what our opponent does. We have a lot of mana, so that's scary. And Kalane can be really good with the treasures to pump up a creature. So that's also scary. Gonna cast Thoughtseize, so I am going to use this time to destroy... If we destroy Agnes, he can bring him back and give him +2 with the treasure. But I still think it's worthwhile to... Let's just kill the Nemesis. Because I don't want to have to deal with that card. Now he can't. Okay, he's gonna kill Sarkhan. Let's see what he does here. Oh, Marionette Master. Very scary card. We're gonna have to kill that. He has 1 mana. We actually don't have enough to kill the Marionette Master, unfortunately. We needed... Okay. Cancel. So we'll kill you, kill you. How much is that? Or we could just win the game. We're gonna kill several of his creatures, and then Lathless will get us another dragon. We're gonna swing in for 6. Unless he can kill us on the following turn, Ureni's gonna swing in for a massive hit and destroy him. So, really good game. That was a very fast-paced game. Marionette Master can be a very scary card because of the amount of damage it can do on its own. But luckily, we wiped out the support structure. Good game. For this game, we're fighting the final boss, apparently. We're fighting the God of Arena. They have Tiamat as their commander. So, dragons versus dragons. Pretty cool matchup. If we had an untapped mountain, that would be amazing, but we don't. I'm a little scared about this hand, to be honest with you. I really need some ramp. And our opponent does get to go first. So I'm thinking I'm probably going to pass. Like mulligan this hand. This hand has a lot more ramp to it than the prior hand. It's still not great, but I'm going to keep it. We're going to need some blue mana, but I think the Cultivate can get us there. Cavern of Souls is good. In case they have any counter spells. Because we'll say dragon, and that will be most of our deck. Opponent's taking a while to find their land. The God of the Arena is taking their time, that's for sure. Okay, we'll put in the land tap. There's no need for us to actually take the damage to put it in untapped. Opponent's doing a better job of ramping than us, that's for sure. Okay, we did find an island. Enchantments. Interesting. Interesting card for a dragon build. I'm gonna cast Cultivate. Get some lands, hopefully. I'm gonna go for an island and a mountain. Put down the island. Opponent has 5 mana, which is kind of scary. Opponent is using Mastermind's Acquisition to search for a card, basically a tutor. We are going to... I'm just going to put down a mountain. And I'm going to pass for now. Going to use the Coil and Catch to draw 3 cards and then discard a card. What do we want to discard? I'm going to discard the Bushwhack. Put down the Cavern of Souls and say Dragon. Going to cast Rampant Growth to get another land and put it onto the battlefield. We're going to go for... actually mountains because of Dracoseth. Pass the turn. This is kind of a staring match for a dragon game. He's going to search for an enchantment card. Reveal. Oh, Dracogenesis. Look at that. He's going to try to get Dracogenesis onto the battlefield. I'm going to counter the show and tell, so he can't do that, hopefully. Thanks. And our opponent scoops. Was a very bold strategy on our opponent's part. That's probably the most control dragon game I've ever played. Basically, with that show and tell that he cast, he was hoping that he could get the Dracogenesis onto the battlefield and basically summon all of his dragons and basically win the game that way. So luckily we had a mana drain. On our turn, we're going to get a ton of mana from the show and tell so we can cast some big dragons, get that going, and hopefully clear out any obstacles we have. Really good game. Game is against the Gitrog, Ravenous Ride. His hand is just too mana intense for us. I'm gonna mulligan. This is a little bit better, so I am gonna keep this. The Gitrog is a 6/5 trample haste. When it deals combat damage to a player, you may sacrifice a creature, and if you do, draw X cards and then put up to X lands onto the battlefield tapped, where X is a sacrifice creature's power. So super strong. Right now, Dracogenesis would be amazing, but that's an endgame card. That's not going to be good here. What I really need is a land, which we did draw. I'm going to use the Invasion of Tarkir to kill the Birds of Paradise, destroy his ramp. Uses a Bajuka Bog to exile our graveyard. Put down the Rockfall Veil. Cast up the Beanstalk. So we'll draw another card. He has another ramp creature. Fuel Tank Feaster. We're going to put down the Solar Transformer, and we're going to put down the Arcane Signet. He has a Shaya. We're going to put down a Storm-Carved Coast. We're going to summon Old Gnawbone. Get to draw another card. Old Gnawbone is a big dragon, so hopefully that will deter him from doing too much else right now. And we have enough mana for Ureni next turn if we want. Let's see what he does. If we can hit with Old Gnawbone, that will be so many treasures. Oh, he has an Archfiend. Oh, and a Galta. Wow. Okay. I'm going to cast Ureni. Draw another card. I'm going to hit the Archfiend and the Fuel Tank. Wait, we have 6 lands. We can only hit 1. Okay. I'm going to hit the Archfiend for 6, so we can attack with Old Gnawbone. Get some treasures. We now have 6 treasures on the battlefield. I'm going to bring out the Ancient Copper Dragon now. Draw another card. We're going to use the last remaining treasure to get out Delighted Halfling. And I think I mean, Galta is huge. Galta is a 12/12. That is a ton of damage he can do. I'm hoping he doesn't have any fight spells or anything like that. But we'll see. Okay, he's going to cast Dark Ritual. Summons the Gitrog monster. Ureni does have protection from black and white, so we can block the Gitrog monster and he will not be able to do any damage. This was a really good game. If he attacks with Gitrog, we block with Ureni, kill him, can't do any damage. He can't cast any removal spells on Ureni. This is just kind of showing the power of this card. We removed the demon, so we got all these treasure tokens, and now we have all these dragons on the battlefield. Even if he hits us with Galta, I'm just going to take it. And then we're going to swing in for 20 some damage. So really good game. Kind of highlights the power of the dragons. So good game, Gitrog. And this game is it is another dragon versus dragon match. This time against Better Kindual. I recently did a deck on Better video on that, so check that out. I really like that commander. This hand is okay. We do have some ramp here. We can surveil, some removal. I'm gonna keep this and try it. Just as a reminder, Better benefits from toughness. It's a 5/7. I am gonna put down a land to surveil to see if we can keep this dragon shaman. I'm torn on this. I'm gonna pass on that. I'm gonna surveil it. Better is a 5/7, and if you have a total of 10 toughness or greater, you draw a card. If you have a total of 20 or greater, you untap each creature you control, and then if you have 40 or greater, your opponent loses half their life rounded up. So really powerful. I am going to kill his ramp. Lightning bolt. Okay, summons old Rutstein. Luckily gets a treasure. Wow, that was lucky. And he has a delighted halfling. We're gonna put down a mountain. Do a Mind Stone. We're gonna cast Invasion of Tarkir to remove the halfling. He manages to get another treasure out of Rutstein. This guy's pretty lucky. I'll give him credit for that. Summons an overgrown battlement. We're gonna put down a forest. We're going to cast Encroaching Dragonstorm, which is gonna get us some more lands onto the battlefield. We really need islands right now. We have tons of mountains and forests. We could potentially summon Ureni next turn. Our opponent is going to summon Better. I'm going to bring out Ureni. The song Unending. We have just enough lands to kill off Better. So I'm going to kill him off now. And the Encroaching Dragonstorm is going to come back to our hand. So hopefully that keeps us from being attacked for a little while by Better. Our opponent has a Cavalier of Thorns. Gonna ramp some cards here. For the very first time, I'm gonna cast Dracogenesis. We're gonna summon Lathlis for free. Then we're gonna summon the Merengue Regent for free. We're going to use that to return the Cavalier to the hand and then swing in for 10, create more dragons, Dracogenesis is quite a card. It costs so much to cast, but if you can get that onto the battlefield, the game is yours. Any dragon you're pulling, it's going to go onto the battlefield, and you have so many strong dragons. Ureni proved to be a huge threat in this game because he has protection from black, he removed better. There's really not going to be an easy way for our opponent to win. So, really good game. Our next opponent is Sidisi. We do have a decent amount of lands and some ramp, but it just seems kind of slow. We're not really doing anything until we get out Emerith, so that's no good for us. This is a little bit better, so we're going to keep this hand. Got some ramp here with keep us from being countered. Got a dragon for the mid game. I'm going to cast, take a forest and cast Delighted Halfling. Sidisi is an interesting commander. It's for 4 mana. It's a 3/3. I'm going to put down a land, summon a Elvish Mystic, and pass the turn. Whenever Sidisi attacks, enters or attacks, you mill 3 cards, and whenever 3 or more creatures are put into the graveyard from the library, you create a 2/2 black zombie token. There's 2 ways I've seen this deck built. One is focused around building up a massive token army. The other way is this is sometimes, unfortunately, can be like an Emergent Ultimatum deck where you're kind of filtering through just to try to get Emergent Ultimatum. So it could be one of those 2 types. Okay, I am going to summon Dragonhawk. Our first dragon on the field. Dragonhawk's a 5/5, and whenever it enters or attacks, you exile the X number of cards from your library, where X is the number of creatures you control with power 4 or greater, and you may play those cards until the end of your next step. At the beginning of your end step, Dragonhawk deals 2 damage to each opponent for each of those cards still exiled. Okay, so our opponent has a Mesmeric Orb. He's going to mill us for a ton. I'm going to put down a Cavern of Souls and say Dragon. I'm going to cast Into the North to get another land onto the battlefield. We need mountains, so I'm going to go for a mountain. Then I'm just going to hit our opponent for 6. We have a Bronze Dragon, which is far too expensive to cast right now. If we can get one more turn like this, I think we'll be in pretty good shape, but we'll see. Our opponent is already down to 13, so that's good. Okay, our opponent has a Chupacabra, which kills our Dragonhawk, unfortunately. We're going to get milled for a bunch. If I put... Okay, so first we're going to put down a land. I'm just going to summon Ureni. I just really want him on the battlefield. We're going to kill both of them. We had 6 lands, so we'll do 3 to each. And Ureni does have protection from black, which could be relevant. Now, if he has some sort of bounce spell or something else like that, that could be problematic. He summons a ton of spiders, 11, which is huge. These all have reach, so I gotta get these out of the way, so I'm gonna have to do a board wipe here. We're gonna swing in for 10. We just need one turn with Ureni on the battlefield. Just one. Do we have any dragons down here with haste? We do not. That's unfortunate. Our opponent's at 3. We draw a lightning bolt, we win the game. Opponent is eyeing his shifting woodland to see if he can maybe morph it into something that would help. Brings out Sidisi. He's gonna mill some more cards. Create a zombie. But there is nothing he can do about Ureni. We win! Ureni is proving to be a powerhouse in the queue. That protection from black and white is actually proving to be pretty crucial against a broad range of decks, because there's a lot of multicolored decks. So really good game, Pony Boy. I enjoyed it a lot. Good game. Thank you so much, my friends, for watching my video featuring Ureni, the song Unending. Ureni was a lot of fun to play, and actually it wasn't as hard to get out Ureni as I thought. With the build that I have, we have a lot of counter spells and some protection spells and things of that nature. Really, if you get out Ureni onto the battlefield, you can wipe out a lot of your opponent's things and then just start swinging in with multiple other dragons. So Ureni turned out to be better of a commander than I originally anticipated. I would put him in the low B tier. I did get paired against a lot of different opponents and got to utilize the power of dragons to defeat multiple different opponents. The one downfall of a deck like this is, because it is so mana intensive, you know, if you have an opponent who is very fast on their feet, they can potentially defeat you before you get out your massive dragons who are swinging in for the win. So that's why we have a lot of control elements in this, as well as a lot of ramp, to keep your mana base increasing, as well as countering your opponents, wiping out their things before you get out the powerful dragons to go in for the win. Thank you so much for watching my video. The deck list is in the description below. Please don't forget to like. Please don't forget to subscribe. Please don't forget to leave me comments. I love to talk about Magic or just interact with you and hear your thoughts about the video. I really appreciate your support as I continue to grow with my amazing and delicious content, as I aim to conquer all of YouTube. Thank you so much. Have a great day.